Jason J. from Cape Town, South Africa asks, what is the difference between there, E-R-E, there, E-I-R, and there, E-Y apostrophe R-E? It's a bit confusing. Hi, this is Thomas with Cozy Grammar speaking to you from Marie's cozy beach cottage on the edge of Discovery Passage in beautiful British Columbia. You're joining us for one of our Ask Cozy Grammar sessions. These are sessions that we hold live to answer questions that our students send in to us, and then we share videos of these answers with our wider audience through our social media channels. This question from Jason, I think, is a particularly wonderful one. And so thank you, Jason. I recently answered it, and I'll send a link to you with the reference from that video. I wanted to add one more tip or trick for how to keep these words from being confusing. So here's a quick review about why there, E-R-E, there, E-I-R, and there, E-Y apostrophe R-E, can be confusing. And the reason they can be confusing is that they all sound the same. So if we were speaking out loud, I could use there, or there, and you would know from the context, the spoken context, what I mean. These are words which are called homophones by grammarians, and that just means same sound but different meanings. But of course, as soon as we start to write these words down, then if we spell them incorrectly, we may inadvertently make ourselves look awkward or confused when we don't mean to be. So here's a quick review on the difference between there, and there. There, with an E-R-E, tells us where something is happening. There, behind me, you can see the body of water called Discovery Passage. And how in the video that I'll send you the link to, there has an E-R-E, and the word where has an E-R-E at the end. And that's a simple mnemonic device or memory tool you can use to remember that there has to do with location, with where something is happening. There, E-Y apostrophe R-E, by contrast, is a contraction. It takes two words and puts them closer together. So there, E-Y apostrophe R-E, if we uncontract the word, if you will, we get they are. And so, for instance, outside, the waves are quite calm today. So I could say they're calm. There, E-Y apostrophe R-E, calm. And the way to remember this is just to look for the telltale apostrophe. When we see an apostrophe used in this way in a word, we know that we're speaking of a contraction. And then the test is to uncontract the contraction to make sure you're saying what you mean. For instance, if I say they're calm, if I'm referring to the waves outside and I'm saying they're calm, and I can uncontract that, they are calm, implicitly the waves are calm, I know I'm using the right word. But if I say they're E-R-E, calm, they're calm, I no longer have a sentence. I have something else which doesn't make the same sense in this circumstance. I'd have to sort of elaborate on the wider context to make sense of that statement. Now, those are the two memory devices I've already given in that previous video, but I didn't give a very satisfactory, to my mind, memory device for the third one. I just said that the sort of by process of elimination, you have one more word there, E-I-R, and that's a possessive pronoun, meaning it refers to what belongs to them, to a group of other people. And like the words our or your, it ends in an R, and there, E-I-R, ends in an R. And that's not a bad device, but I thought I could do a little better than that. So here's what I'm offering to you, Jason, a new mnemonic device, which may or may not be better. We'll see. Notice that there, T-H-E-I-R, it has an I in it, and it's the only one of these three, there, and there, which has an I in it. And when we take the letter I on its own, it's the pronoun I, the first person singular pronoun. And we often associate the pronoun I with possession, with what I have. So in there, with an I, we have a possessive pronoun that indicates what a group outside of us has or possesses. For instance, even though the waves outside are quite calm, there's still this sort of calm little wave-like motion in the water. And I could say, I enjoy their constant motion. So here, there is referring to the waves and to the motion that they have, so to speak, or possess. But Jason, this is just one way of creating an association or memory device or mnemonic device that helps us to remember a word. Now, you may not be satisfied with mine. You might say, well, T-H-E-I-R, I guess I could go from there to the I to a possessive pronoun. But the point about making these kinds of associations is not that they become sort of some golden rule or something set in stone, but rather that they create a linkage in our mind. They link things together in our mind, and they serve like a tool. They're kind of like a ladder. So if you're climbing up to something that's high and you need to climb up a ladder, you can climb up the ladder, but once you've climbed it, you don't need the ladder anymore. Similarly, once you've associated two ideas in your mind, then you can let the mnemonic device go. You just look at the word there, and you already know that it has to do with where. You look at the word there with an apostrophe, you know, oh, it's the contraction there, they are. Or you look at there, E-I-R, and you already know, oh yeah, possessive pronouns. So you don't need to go through this circular route. But when we're learning a language, or when we're learning more abstract concepts like grammatical terms, it can be very helpful to make up these kind of little word stories. And so here's my suggestion to you, Jason. If you'd like, think of your own mnemonic device for remembering there, and there, and send it to me through our website, cozygrammar.com. And I'll share it with our students and viewers in our next video. So that's some thoughts on how to distinguish there, and there.